Good evening. A retired musician is recovering in hospital after being carjacked. Michael Green has a fractured hip as well as head injuries. Thugs targeted him for his 15-year-old car, which they later crashed. The 84-year-old told his family that he thought he was going to die. Sean Grezchek reports.
Michael Green lived for his music, entertaining audiences as a drummer across the Black Country and the world for decades. And this is him today, his injuries so severe he needed surgery. Last Friday, the pensioner was at this pub in Bilston, known for its live music, and part of the reason he was a regular. As he was leaving, up to 6 thugs attacked him to take his 15-year-old Toyota car. His daughter Giselle is still coming to terms with what happened to her father.
It was very upsetting to see him. My dad had been sort of an absolute gentleman. He didn't want to make any fuss at all in the hospital. But, you know, he was covered in blood. He had quite a nasty head wound. He was obviously in a lot of pain.
I think it was an opportune moment. They'd seen the victim just get into the car. He'd literally just sat in that vehicle where he was forcibly removed and dragged out of that car and dragged across the floor. To take the car is one issue, but to cause the injuries that they have, which is a fractured hip, and which has resulted in the victim still being hospitalised, causes me immense concern, and I'm keen to catch those responsible.
Michael's been drumming since he was a teenager and loves playing gigs for locals. Today, people in Bilston said they were disgusted by news of his attack.
It's awful, really. I think if you got to, what they don't realise is they ain't going to be that old someday. So, you know, but they think it's never going to happen to them.
I think they do need locking up these kids. They want educated, for starters. That's where it all starts. There's no two ways about it.
West Midlands police have arrested a 16-year-old on suspicion of robbery who has now been bailed. Giselle had this message for the people responsible.
I would think that they've got dads and granddads too, and I'd like them to have a think about how they'd feel if it was their granddad.
How's the rest of the family feeling?
Very shaken, very upset.
Detectives here say the violent attack on Mr. Green was out of all proportion to any gain, and his ageing car had little resale value. They want to hear from anyone who saw his blue Toyota Avensis in the moments after it was stolen to get in touch. Michael is expected to remain in hospital for the rest of the week and is described as making good progress. His family are worried about the long-term impact of his attack, but say despite his ordeal, he's a fighter and together they'll get through this. Sean Grezchek, BBC Midlands Today, Birmingham.
And Michael Green's daughter Giselle visited him in hospital late this afternoon. She says that he wants people to know how grateful he is for all the kind messages he's received since the attack. You're watching Midlands Today. Good to have you with us this evening. Coming up later in the programme.